Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us this morning. This is episode 9 of the Sell More Printing webinar. This webinar is aimed at helping you grow your print business using today's best marketing tactics. I'm Rachel Neese. I'm the marketing director here at Marketing Ideas for Printers. And today we're going to look at how to get started with blogging for your print business. So last webinar, we looked at some tips to increase your social media effectiveness, but I didn't really get to go very far into the blogging part of it. So this week, I want to take things a step farther and just kind of dig into blogging some more. I'm often asked about blogging, so I thought it just might be helpful to dig in just a little bit deeper. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to break this up kind of into 3 parts. We're going to look at the why behind blogging, the what of blogging, what you should be blogging about, and then how to blog, just some helpful tips to help you with that. So first, let's look at the first one there, the why behind blogging. So why should you be blogging for your print business? Well, the first reason is it provides value to your audience. When you blog, you're allowing your prospect or customer to make it from the top of your sales funnel to the bottom of the sales funnel on their own and at their own pace. And so you're just kind of like a coach that gets to sit along the sidelines, making yourself available, for anything that your customer or prospect might need along the way. Think of it like this. You know that employee that hangs out in the self-checkout area, like at Walmart or Target, and you don't really want to have to call them over, but you know that they're there. You want to be able to do, the self-checkout process all by yourself. You want it to go smoothly, but what happens is you have to ring up a kumquat or something, right? And you can't find it. So you have to ask a human to come in and help you out and, figure that out. And blogging works that same way. You're providing the process for them to move from the top of the funnel to the bottom, but your name is attached to it. They know that you're like that helpful, Walmart or Target employee that's there, and that you would provide the human touch if that's necessary. Secondly, the why behind blogging is it drives traffic to your website. Or in other words, it boosts your SEO or your search engine optimization. And here's why. Blogging is going to give you more indexed pages. According to searchenginejournal.com, companies that blog have 434% more indexed pages than companies that don't. That means that the more content, or I should say the more of the right content you're providing, the more chances you have at your content, being used and showing up in a search query. To put this another way, if a customer or a website visitor is online and your content isn't there, Google obviously is not going to have your content show up because there's nothing there. The more pages you have, the more chances you have of being of showing up in those search results and being the answer to those visitors' questions. Secondly, blogging generates more leads. So according to HubSpot, small businesses with blogs generate 126% more leads than companies that don't. So like that self-guided funnel that we talked about, blogging means, more index pages, which then leads to more chances to show up in the search results, which then which leads to more leads, and then the more leads then lead to more conversions. So blogging creates more conversions. According to activeblogs.com, 61% of US shoppers have made a purchase based on a blog. So you can see how it just keeps building on itself, but it starts with providing that useful content that answers the questions of your audience in a blog and then brings them over to the point of purchasing. So the top, you have an opportunity to be indexed. Then they can move to your site to learn more, which creates more conversions. And now people are, more familiar with you and your products and services. And now they can make a more informed decision, to move forward in working with you. Next, blogging allows you to build your credibility and authority. There are 2 huge benefits of building your credibility and authority through blogging. First is reputation management. So it allows you to manage your reputation online. Blogging gives you the platform to tell your story. So you can be helpful, you could communicate your core values. This is a place where you get to use, your voice. Secondly, when you build your credibility and authority, you increase your prospects and customers' trust in your company. That's huge. Increased trust ultimately means increased sales because people will buy from people they trust. Now, my guess is that as a local printer, you guys have this down pretty well with your local community, your local audience, that they know you, that they know your credibility, your integrity, you've established trust with them, and that's why they continue to purchase with you. But when you start thinking bigger and you start building an online presence through your website and you want to reach, people across the country and want them to order printing at your business, you have to find a way to establish that trust and build those relationships online. And blogging is a great place to do that. They can search you out, they can learn more about you on their terms, but they get to see that you're a credible printer who they would want to buy from. So that's the benefit there of building that credibility and authority through blogging. The next one there is it's your content bank for all other channels. Here's what I mean. Whatever content you use on your blog is pretty much, fodder for your Facebook posts, your LinkedIn content, your Twitter content. You can even take this a step further, and eventually your blog will provide you with a wealth of ideas for you to use in things like email campaigns, ebooks, those types of things that you can use that all start with just ideas that you can pull off of your own blog. As you continue to build that, you have this just constant bank that you can pull from when things are, running slim on ideas. You can just repurpose and use what you have. Next, we're going to look at the what of blogging. What should your print business be blogging about? Now, this could seriously probably be a webinar in and of itself, so I'm just going to touch on a few key points of what you should be blogging about. So first, think about blogging about things that are relevant to your audience. And here's an important tip I want you to keep in mind. Think bigger. If I could find a graphic that said think beyond print, that's what I would have chosen. But it's so tempting for printers to think that all your blogs should be all about printing. And, while blogs about printing, yes, might help your SEO with keywords and things like that, I want you to think bigger. Your customers, your print buyers, are not looking up questions about printing all the time. Who are your print buyers? Are they business owners? If so, what are the things that business owners would be searching for online who eventually need to order printing? So they're going to be thinking about things like work-life balance, leadership, teamwork, customer service, etc. All of those things. All of those are relevant topics to your audience that are going to help generate interest and bring them back to your website when they do need printing, helping them think of you and your great content when they need that printing. So remember that you're limiting yourself by only talking about printing, because when you're trying to reach that person, they're not always looking for printing in that moment. So providing that useful, relevant information to them in all areas of their life with your name behind it are just going to establish your name, establish that credibility and authority that they can trust you, that you know what you're doing, so that when they do need printing, they're going to be thinking of you. Next, we're going to move on. Remember, quality over quantity. So you can have the same impact from a 300-word blog that you can from a 3,000-word blog. So, don't feel like you have to blog every day. You don't have to blog every week. Your goal here is to work on creating quality content and doing so consistently. Consistency is key. And that's one of the huge benefits of using a service like our social marketing service from Marketing Ideas for Printers here is, when you subscribe to that Max package, you're getting 2 blogs a week every Tuesday and Friday. So if you don't have time to do that, you have the ability there to have that consistency and publish those blogs, on a consistent basis. And that's the whole goal there. I don't want you to stop there. I want you to add your own quality content and work on building that up. But that springboard, that foundation is there with that steady, consistent content that you can post. Next, connect the dots. So if a reader makes it to your blog but never makes it to your website because you haven't provided that path, you've got a huge roadblock in your sales funnel. So remember that more than likely your blog is going to be the entry point to your website. You know, if a print owner or not a print owner, excuse me, if a print buyer or business owner is on Google and they're searching for something and your content pops up and they provide, you know, you're providing an answer to that question, more than likely they're being taken to your blog first. So make sure that your blog matches your branding and make sure that that blog connects to your website if your blog is not hosted on your website. So you have to make those connections that they can get from your blog to your website, from your website to your blog, and everything is working correctly there. Along with that, you know, one of the main purposes of having a blog is for lead generation. So you need to make sure you have a way to capture the email addresses of those who visit your blog. Now, you could do this through a simple, like, you know, sign up for our newsletter or a pop-up on your blog. But better yet, you know, why not provide additional value by adding gated content, by giving something in return? So for example, you give them a free useful download, and in exchange, they give you their email that you can then use to build your own email marketing list. So in fact, if you need gated content, I want to remind you to use ours. So, you know, we have a pop-up on our website that gives you a download that you can use for your own gated content. That's the whole purpose of that there. There's no branding on it on purpose, so that the whole point of it is to be useful for you to use in that way as gated content for your own pop-ups, that then, you know, you're providing that valuable information, and in exchange, your print buyers are giving you their email address that you can then work to build your own email marketing list and continue to just work them down the funnel. So currently that pop-up on our website is 10 simple tips for effective direct mail. At the beginning of March, there'll be a new one that's top 7 file prep mistakes and how to avoid them. That's just a simple checklist, you know, that you can provide to your print buyers to speed up their print project production. So you could create a pop-up that says something like, you know, want to get your print project printed faster, you know, download this free checklist or whatever, you know, and then use that gated content and then have them put in their name and their email to get that download. And then you have their email address and you can start building campaigns and moving them further down the funnel at that point. Okay, the next one is the how of blogging. Lastly, I'm going to just walk you through how to post the blogs provided through our Social Marketing Max package onto a WordPress platform, as well as some simple tips to maximize that content for your use. So I want to throw an asterisk in here that if you're not using our platform, just hang tight with me for just a few slides as I run through this, and then stick around for those tips just to kind of maximize that content there. So the first one is, if you subscribe to our service, every Tuesday and Friday, you're getting a blog through email that looks something like this. So you'll see on here, you know, what the date is for and things like that. Now, if you scroll down on this, you're going to see this post to your blog button. From there, I want you to click on that, I'm assuming, but here's where some people get mixed up. So if I scroll down on this page, a lot of people click this post to your blog button here and get a little turned around. So right here where it says your blog's mail to address, you want to put your blog's mail to address if you're using one of these platforms. So if you're not using WordPress and you're using, you know, Blogger, LiveJournal, Movable Type, Squarespace, one of these, click on these links and it's going to walk you through how to find this mail to address. And if you do that, all you would be doing is putting in the mail to address in this box every time and clicking post to your blog. That's how that works. But if you are a WordPress subscriber and your blog is on WordPress, you want to be using this button over here that says post to your WordPress blog. When you click on that, it's going to bring you to a page that looks like this. So this is the blog. Here's the title, the excerpt, can't say that today, the message, and this is where you can you can tweak and edit that content and make it your own, customize things. Over here, you're going to want to add your blog's website address. So this is the actual URL of your blog. When you put that in there, it might bring you to something like this, where you have to add your username and your password. So go ahead and do that. If you get a warning that says you need to, update this XML RPC, you can either give us a call and we'll help walk you through it. It's not as scary as it seems. It's just a simple setting in the platform there to do that. The other thing you can do is on your WordPress account in the plugins area, you can download this Jetpack, and by doing that, it gets rid of this need to log in with your username and password. So if you need help with this step of getting your blog's website address and getting it connected, you can reach out to our customer care team, and they'll be more than willing to help you through that. But you can probably get through it on your own, and you should be able to walk through the steps on your own. But if you run into this, certainly give us a call and we'll help you with it. So once you get it connected, if you scroll down on this page, over here on the right, you're going to see something that says image position. It gives you a couple options of where you want to put that image. I typically put it as a featured image just to get it a little higher up in the post, but you can choose to put that where you want. Then you can add in here your category for your blog and then any keywords or tags that you want to use with that blog. Again, work on tweaking this and adding it for you. I'm going to give you just a few tips on how to do that here in a second, but this is where you're going to be doing all that. So once you get it customized and set up for how you want it, then you're going to come over here and click this blue button that says post to your blog, and you're going to see a screen that looks something like this. This is just WordPress asking for permission for our platform to post the blog onto your platform. That's all it is. So you would click approve, and then it will instantly post it to your blog. So now here's that blog. It's been posted on my blog. This is just a demo blog that apparently they put coffee beans in the background if you just create a demo blog. So once you get that set up, from there, every email that you get like this, you're always going to come to that post to your WordPress blog. That'll bring you to that other page where you can make your customizations and then, quickly just post it onto your blog platform. So that's kind of how that works. I'm going to just move on and give you a couple tips on what you can do when you're customizing this content here, or for anybody who's not using our platform, some tips to help with the how of blogging. So first one is share your new blog content multiple times on your social media channels. So you're going to get these Tuesday or Friday or whenever you're posting your blogs. Don't just think of it as a one and done. Create a system where you're going to put your new blogs multiple times on these channels, or you're going to reuse them or things like that. I talked last week about how to find out when your audience is on your platform, like we looked at when the best time to post on Facebook was. So if you have a couple different times where they're doing that, this is where you're going to take advantage of that information. So maybe you're going to post the blog Tuesday morning when you get it, but you're going to post it again in the evening at that most opportune time. Those are the things that I want you to be aware of. When you post, you're only hitting 1 to 5% of your audience right away. So, and then it kind of gets lost in the news feed of that platform. So by posting it multiple times, you're going to have better opportunity for people to actually see it. That's the goal. So along with that, I work on creating a system to reshare your best old content. When you're creating a blog checklist on how you create a blog, set a reminder for 6 months from now or a year from now to go back and see if you can update that old content and, publish it again and publish it updated. You'll see this all the time on sites like Inc.com or Entrepreneur. If you look down at the bottom, it says, this post was originally published in 2014, updated, and now it's published, here in 2019. So you can do that same thing where you're just repurposing and updating content that you already have. Next, when editing your content, check to see if you can add a relevant link back to your website or other content. So can you link any part of that current blog back to another one of your blogs or an ideas collection tip or other content on your website? See if you can add some of those links back in there. Let's say that we sent you a blog, or you have a blog on designing, designing for print. Well, my guess is you've got tons of other blogs on that same topic, or you have ideas collection tips that talk about a specific aspect of design. You can pull links to that other content then and put it in the blog and just kind of work on those connections. That helps boost your chances of getting, that higher up in your SEO and can help you out with some of that. Oh, one other thing I was just going to mention with that is, when you subscribe to a subscription service, like you would if you were using our content, we're not going to link to your specific website. So I want to make sure that you take the opportunity, if you really want to boost it and get the most out of it, that you add those specific links back to your website and to your content on your website. That's going to give you the best results. Next one, another idea you can do is add your latest blog to your email signature. Here's what I mean by that. So if you look here, if I have at the bottom of my email, this is just an image I found off the web that does this, but you could have this from my blog and have, a recent blog post here. You don't have to update this, every time you put out a new blog, but pick, one of your favorites or one of the blogs that's had the best impact that will pull them to your blog. Just by doing this, you're just providing that other opportunity to go from email to your website. The whole idea is to get them to your website, and this is just one more opportunity that would allow you to do that. Next one is look where you can add a call to action. So at the bottom of those blogs, same thing here with us not adding, links to your content. Same thing here. We're not going to just put in call to actions for you, because what if you don't want people to go there? So we don't want to make those decisions for you, but I want to make sure we give you enough tips to do this on your own that you feel comfortable with it. So when you're customizing that content, at the bottom, you can add something like or share if you found this interesting. Or if the article is talking about design, for example, and you have the design edit tool where people can design on your website, add a call to action at the bottom of the blog that says something like, to easily get started with your next design, get started with design edit. Now you can quickly and easily bring your own creative ideas to life and look like a pro. Something along those lines where you can pull in the other services and products from your website from what you're talking about in your blog. Another example is, with the ideas collection tips, if you can drive them back to your ideas collection. So you might say something like, for more information on this topic, whatever the blog topic is about, check out our ideas collection tip on, and then pull that ideas collection and use that as your call to action. You can use that then to connect the dots from your blog back to your website, get them on your website and get them ordering printing. That's the goal. Lastly, the best thing you can do for your blog is to add your brand personality to it. Jason Miller says it like this: if you can take your personality and inject it into the message you share, you'll be one step ahead in the content marketing game. Same thing here, when you're taking part in a subscription service where you're getting content from someone else, they're providing the foundation for you. But the best way that, the best results you're going to get from that is by you just taking it just a little step further and adding your unique personality to it, your brand messaging, your core values, those types of things, so people know you personally. So yeah, so all of these tips are just to kind of help you add that little bit of personality to it. So kind of running out of time here. That's going to wind us down on how you can increase your blog's effectiveness. I have just a couple of announcements I want to give you before you take off here. One is there's going to be no more selling more printing webinars in March. So we've got NPOA coming up here this week, and we have another conference in March. So we're going to be busy doing some traveling, so there will be no webinars in March. The next Sell More Printing webinar will be April 10th. We'll pick it back up again then on that regular every other week rotation starting April 10th. So that's it. Thanks for joining us for tips to help you sell more printing. Again, the next webinar will be Wednesday, April 10th, 2019 at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to reach us at 701-241-9204, or you can email me directly at rachel.neese@mi4p.com. I also want to mention, if you have specific questions about connecting your WordPress blog to your marketing ideas for printers website, you can contact our customer care team, and that's customercare@mi4p.com. Thanks so much for joining us, and I hope to see you back here Wednesday, April 10th. Thanks so much. Have a great day.